wonderful. But it's not until all of us have the same access, until 3 people across this entire country, that all of us get to win this war. Let's win it together.
Reefer rally right here in Philadelphia.
For all your activism. One of the other things that I wanted to mention is, again, with the drug war, we are already retired. We are taking people who are in need of substance abuse programs, and we are throwing them in jail, and that's wrong. I want to introduce to you Lindsay. She's with Democracy Spring. She was arrested with hundreds of other people trying to get money out of politics, and she's going to talk to you about why we should end the drug war and invest more money in treatment. Thank you. Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! We are here!
We are here
to say, free the weed! Free the weed! Free the weed! Free the weed! When? When? Now! When? Now! When? Now! When? Now! Free the weed! Free the weed! Free the weed! Free the weed! I have a question for you. Do you know anybody who has died from a heroin overdose? Me too! And that is different than marijuana. Raise your hand if someone you know has died from marijuana! None, that's right! Let's hear it. How many? None! How many? How many? That's right. We are here to say, hell no. Hell no. Free the weed. Free the weed. When? Now. When? When? When?
Now fire up!
Now smoke it up, guys. Thank you. All right, we have one more speaker before 4:20, and he came all the way from D.C. He's been part of the movement to demand that we deschedule cannabis now. Give it up for SOS PAC and the movement to legalize cannabis.
Spread the good gospel. I feel like a traveling evangelist of hemp and cannabis because it's all good for you. Your body runs on the cannabinoids. But I'm going to tell you where I got started. Follow the SOS PAC. Saving our society. It was police and citizens together because I do work for the police and feel for the police, but I was getting too much negative stuff, so I'm keeping it positive. I like the new sheriff coming to town that got me started in this. It's LEAP, law enforcement against prohibition, like the officer that was up here before and explained to you that it doesn't work. It's not good for the police and it's not good for us. It wastes a lot of their time on trivial stuff. Something, I saw this on my Facebook and it says, this officer was wearing his cowboy hat bigger than mine, and he had his shirt on that said, cops want to legalize pot. Asked me why. I was working with a fraternal order of police. I've actually drove for them a few years, educating them about normal, and a new sheriff coming to town. Police, law enforcement against prohibition. Anyway, I had to go ask him. He said, for the benefit of our kids, so you don't get a bum rap for doing something less troublesome than drinking. And he was speaking, and that makes sense. Actually, I was telling the number of the police in the van I was driving one time, and they said, yeah, I'll tell you why, because we want to smoke it. I know
I'd be a cop if I could get high.
Voice counts high.
Right?
Huh? But anyway,
I'd hold it
a lot
down.
of times they might bust you and confiscate you and save them having to deal with it. But anyway, aside from that, Sleep was speaking as normal. Not that any of us are normal. I'm far from normal. I used to be bipolar. Now I'm just manic. I learned to ride the side I like. You just live and learn, hopefully. More fruit, more vegetables, more endorphins, more sleep, less brandy, less chocolate covered espresso. But I do recommend a can of hemp, can of energy. It's hemp supplement. That way you got a little B12, B6. But anyway, Normal was the organization. Everybody, who knows Normal? Not that any of us are. Put your hand up if you know what normal means. I want to see who knows it. Okay, that's the deal. We need to spread a lot of this stuff. If you go to my SOS pack, you'll see I do spread a lot because National Press Club in D.C. used to refer me for their marketing and PR. So NORML is the national organization to reform marijuana laws. They should have made it legal back in the 70s when they formed, but they're still working it. I shot the last 2 years flying in NORML in D.C. And then there's the students. All college campuses have the SSDP, Students for Sensible Drug Policy. You know, so nationwide, there's national NORML, every state NORML, and every major city. I actually came into town Thursday for the Philly NORML. Philly NORML meets the second and fourth Thursday of every month over West Side, 4722 Baltimore Avenue. So,
First and third Thursday. First and third Thursday.
oh, thank you. Oh, I'm talking about Philly NORML there. We have you get up here too. Come up here, David. Come up here. Get your hand up. Speaking of Philly NORML, I didn't see him earlier. This is the chapter leader of Philly NORML, and he can tell you about the college deals and the problem with the students get with losing their funding or losing their school rights and stuff. So actually, I'm going to turn it over to James. Let me think. Oh, let me push a couple things. Okay. Okay, he's going to speak now. I got a couple things to say, but I don't want to hold up my base.
So I just wanted to say, I'm technically like on legal duty. I kind of have to pop back and forth between the stuff I'm doing. So, you know, hopefully you won't have to call us if you get arrested. But if you do, call legal if you get arrested. But I did want to just say that, yes, on the first and third Thursdays of the month at 7:30 at the Space, which is located at 4720 Baltimore Avenue in West Philadelphia. It's right on the 34 trolley line. We have our meeting. So anyway, just wanted to make sure I got that right. And anyway, I'm going to wait. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks for everything you do, brother.
I'm going to need to wrap it up. I need to wrap it up, so I'm going to leave with saying jury notification, push it nationwide. 1 out of 12 jurors say not guilty. You know, it's an unjust law, so just push jury notification. Also, hemp it forward from here on in. Help educate misinformed people of all these good organizations out there, and to help end marijuana prohibition, which is against us and against the police. They can go back to protect and serve if they get this off their hit list and job description. And then that way they'll be a little more citizen friendly. And we'll also end some of these other problems with ending the drug war and associated with the community. Black lives matter, blue lives matter, all lives matter, period. Okay? But we'll work together better. Turning it over to the next speaker.
Yeah. Thank you.
Woo! I think I have it.
Okay, my name is Dr. Detroit. My rainbow name, Rainbow Family.
My name is Dr. Detroit. My spirit name from the Rainbow Family. Rainbow Gathering, which is up in Vermont this year. I go back with Dana Beal here to almost the 60s, and Aaron Kay, the Pie Man. And the late 60s, and the Yippies. And I think we're on the crust, breaking through. Bernie says, hey, why do they arrest the kids for marijuana? They don't arrest the banksters for ripping off the world and all the foreclosures. Dixon. So we're right on the edge of shifting this into getting legal, maybe at least stopping the arrests, and maybe for some people understanding that the drug war is essentially racist, the war on people of color, the war on young people, the war on class as well as race. Cops and the drugs are a very bad mix, leads to some of the police killings, some of the bad blood between police and the black community, and all that stop and frisk shit for something that's less harmful than wine and better for your health than alcohol. So listen, don't give up. Stay involved in every way we work, from the most radical countercultural to the most mainstream. Both are valuable. We all work in one end or the other of a big problem. We're going to see it solved in our lifetime. And I want to honor all of you for your commitment. Anybody who's crazy enough to get out here in this heat for cannabis has to be crazy. I'm
going to let you guys enjoy the rest of the day. I think we should find a place to be able to party here tonight. So let's find somebody here who has some place as a local, who has some place that they can take us, and on the down low, that's where we can let our hair down and have a little bit of medicine and a party. So it must be a local person who can find a little spot that's okay. There was people down in New York that used to have something over on Bleecker Street where you could come into the Yippies when you went to New York and visit them. So you're talking to one of the historical figures here, Dana Beal, that's for sure. But let me remind you all, we're all historical figures. We're all making history right here at this very moment. And I want to leave you with one word. Promise me to free the weed. Free the weed! 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 Free these police officers from arresting us.
Free these police officers from arresting us.
God bless.
You know, when we did this in 1968, the police had a riot. They were not ready for people smoking pot. And it's taken 50 years to get 60% of the American population to support marijuana. Now we're coming to an election where they have put marijuana in the Democratic Party platform.
Yeah, brother.
I want to speak to you as kind of an ex-Green. I tried to go in the Greens to get them into marijuana in the 80s, and they were anti-marijuana people in the Greens. It was very upsetting. You understand? So I basically said, I'll go back to being a hippie and the fringe of the Democratic Party. Well, we waited around, and we waited around, and now Bernie comes to us and says, we got 85% of what we wanted, including a pathway to legalization. The only way we can actually get that is if Hillary wins. Keep that in mind. Those other two guys are not going to win. The only other person who can win is Mike Pence, Chris Christie, and Rudy Giuliani standing around him like linebackers blocking access to the commander-in-chief. So the only way we can do it is to elect Hillary Clinton. And I see this as somebody who's been a hippie and a Green. I am not happy with that. So right now it's 4:20. We're going to light up. I want to tell you what that means. That we have the open tolerance to light up in public after 8 years of President Obama. It's a big deal. And we want to continue gradual legalization. That's all we can get. Gradual improvement. We'll take gradual improvement. Just stop hitting us on the head, officer. You know, stop washing us up clean. Okay.
We're about to do a countdown to 420, our favorite time. But just to be clear, this is not a partisan event. The East Coast Cannabis Coalition does not support any political candidates, especially not anyone in the Democratic or the Republican Party. The same people responsible for passing all these laws that encourage mass incarceration, and the result is having 25% of the world's prison population. Again, we're here to call on not just the DNC, but everybody in government to legalize cannabis and end the war on drugs.
All right, if you got them, are you ready? All right. Now I got something that I always say. People who know me for saying it. I'm always saying, fuck the law, smoke it anyway. Fuck the law, smoke it anyway. So here we go. It's 4:20, time to light up. And remember, in Philadelphia, it's decrim. They can't give you a ticket. All right. So fire it up, y'all.
If they were going to do anything, they'd have been up here already. Spark it up and enjoy life.
We got to bring the smoke-in movement everywhere. We got to have the giant joint follow these people around, you know, on their campaign appearances.
Marijuana is decriminalized here. Share the weed.
I got a question.
The reason why cannabis is decriminalized in the city of Philadelphia is because a bunch of activists who came out of the Occupy movement protest every month for an entire year at the Liberty Bell, demanding action on this issue, and then we mobilized the city of Philadelphia to place pressure on city council and former Mayor Nutter to decriminalize cannabis, and they did the people's will, and our work is not going to stop here. We will not stop until cannabis is fully legalized. This is just one step in the process. Again, we're not here to support political parties or candidates. We're here to start a grassroots movement to end the drug war and legalize cannabis. Our faith is not in our leaders, but in each and every one of you who has a voice, who has a message, who has the ability to take this information and share it. If you're a delegate, I encourage you to take this to your party platform. Take this to the convention and tell your candidate, Hillary Clinton, that we're not going to stop here. We're not going to go away, and we're going to keep fighting and demanding justice so we get what we want. What do we want? Legalization. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Legalization. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Legalization. When do we want it? Now. When I say legalize, you say cannabis. Legalize. Cannabis. Legalize. Cannabis. When I say legalize, you say cannabis. Legalize. Cannabis. Legalize. Cannabis. When I say decarcerate, you say PA. Decarcerate. PA. Decarcerate. PA. When I say end, you say the drug war. End. The drug war. End. The drug war. End. The drug war. All right, now we got to keep fired up. So the last thing that I'll leave you with before we conclude our rally, again, is we are not focused on any political candidate, but we are focused on the here and now. Oh, wait, except this candidate, But we do want to place pressure on the current administration. President Obama has the power to deschedule cannabis. He has the power to defund the DEA. And so if you want to organize around the issue, we encourage you to check out our website, ecannabiscoalition.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and we have meetings in Trenton at the New Jersey Weedman's Joint and Cannabis Temple. So if you'd like to join us, check us out. Thanks again, and we hope that you all free the weed! 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 Free the weed!
That was not an endorsement of Hillary Clinton. But right now she's ahead, and it's unlikely that she will not become president. So we should say she has to do it too. Obama that has to do it. Not the black guy who has to take ownership. They won't even let him appoint the Supreme Court. Blatant racist. It's just total bullshit. So somehow she's already president. And somehow she has to fucking come out right now and say she will, as her first act of office, keep the promise for a pathway to legalization. Deschedule cannabis with a flick of the pen. And if she did that, she would win in a landslide. The Republicans would be out of Congress.
What's your name?
Angels would be sent from heaven.
Speak on behalf of the SOS.
So I'm not really sure it's going to happen.
PACT, it's a new treaty, a new deal.
We've got to get these guys to keep their promise.
I'll tell you what it stands for. Initially, it was saying saving our society with police and citizens together, because I used to put forces together for my family business security and my neighbor, because I was the second 6th command when neighbor died in Vietnam era veterans, so I went in bull crap. And so clean up my neighborhood.
We gotta fucking get them to keep the promise. They put it down. It was 81 to 80. And they didn't come back and change the vote. They owe us. They're trying to get our vote. They owe us more than going to drug court instead of going to prison. So right now, Patrick Kennedy gets up.
I got started with the movement
Kennedy, remember
about
that
4 years ago due to this badge
When I
right
brought
here.
in drug
This
court,
badge
I had a guy
is
whose dogs knocked over and sold like a little stuff. The house burned down. They found the cannabis. The guy had to go to drug
because
court
the police,
hell.
the judges, the lawyers who've been through it, it's not good for them neither.
Okay, over
It's not
that.
good for us. It's not
So,
just
you know,
law.
guys
It's
feel
criminals and
beautiful.
hardships on the family.
Organic
I'm paying
restaurant.
property to my
We like to
grandchild.
read
My daughter's baby daddy got locked up. It became a federal case. He tried to outrun the police with a car. I'm Poppy all over again.
And what I'm saying is,
plus it's medically beneficial.
we gotta like fucking
and
make
the
these
cannabis.
guys keep
Actually,
the
on
promise.
the
How much
counter-
of this holy weed can you smoke a day? How much
I
can you
don't know. I'm
smoke?
not no weed
Can you
addict.
smoke and then drive at the same time? Like,
Oh,
don't
yes,
drink
people
and drive.
can. They can do everything better. But the officer, let me tell you, I got started about LEAP. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that up, because that is a strong point. Because the reason I got started and went to listen to the officer of LEAP at a normal meeting, not that any of us are normal, but the National Organization of Reform Marijuana Laws, he was their speaker. And the reason I went is he had this shirt that says, "Cops want to legalize pot." Ask me why.
Why?
And well, that's what I wanted to know, so I had to go to the meeting. So I went to the meeting, and I asked him why. And he said, for the benefit of our kids, these young people who sat here today, or even us, because it's an unjust law. And his answer was, because it's less troublesome than drinking. Drinking is killing people. How many people, you know, and drinking will kill you. My dad died in my arms from cirrhosis of the liver and from cancer as well. And talking about cancer, Tricky Dick Nixon back in the day tried to prove that cannabis would give you cancer. He sent down tests down to UVA in Virginia. It turned out the opposite. It will counter and clean up cancer. I'm hoarse. I've been in a number of events. I was here for the
But then what
Music
grade?
Festival.
Then are we talking about different grades of weed? Will the weed be mixed with stuff as they do with these stuff?
Well, that's why you need to do as Mother Nature did.
So
This is
can you
Mother
grow
Nature's natural
what you grow out of the
growing
ground?
plants. You should
If you
your
grow
own.
and then you don't need, then you dry it out and then you do it
No question.
yourself.
You know what you got. You need to grow your own. It's best. And that,
Just grow your own.
American people will accept nothing less. It was wild and free and natural growing healing plant that was put here that takes care of not only humans and wellness and their being, but also our mammals, the animals. It helps in seizures. It's proved to help with dogs and seizures, people and seizures. The only thing to help the kids in seizures, they've approved that in Virginia, which is a tough enough to crack, but it helps. It cures Alzheimer's, glaucoma. It's basically almost like your endorphins. It's a self-healing deal. It helps keep the body's wellness. The only way you get it naturally is that the lady had a baby. It was proved to us scientifically that in the breast milk is cannabinoids. So it's like a wellness deal. And plus we know the history. We know we were wrong. We know back from 1850 until 1937, it was on the shelf as cannabis extracts. Okay, the hemp and the cannabis, both, because they both have their different properties that basically help heal you for different deals to a degree. And that's being broken down. A lot of it's already been broken down. You can check out the Medical Cannabis Institute of Charlottesville, Virginia. They're actually teaching caregivers and teaching patients what different aspects and how to work and how to treat. So it's out there. We got the science. We don't want to hear no more excuses, Congress. No more stalling. Bottom line, if you're against hemp, especially hemp, it's a great thing for our nation. It helps heal the land and the people. And, you know, our farmers, you know, instead of losing our farms, they can grow it. It's the best crop. And the Indians, they can grow it. They can eat it. It's the seeds and the plant. The whole thing is usually it's great protein, great nutrition. It's the best for you, period. Check it out. It's out there. The history's there. So no more sorry excuses. Bottom line, if you're against hemp or cannabis, it's less troubles than drinking, then as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of other Americans at this point, you're a prohibitionist and you need to get out of our office. You need to leave now. Just like right now, Hillary, I'm sorry, but until this is reconciled about this rigged deal on the election, this election decision of who's going to run for what needs to be put on hold. you know, as well, and what have you. And but yeah, so Papa's a Rolling Stone. That's the 6 foreclosure, straight bankruptcy, and divorce. But actually, thank you for asking me. He asked me where I live. My honorable Navy discharge paper says, "What is your resident address?" I put down Maryland, which is what it was. I'm not telling you a little town, USA, but anyway. And then it says, "Now, what's your mailing address?" I had to walk across the street, the state line, Mason-Dixon, Delaware. That was Delaware. I'm talking about Delaware. DuPont. DuPont's Plastics and Nylons. That's the year it went out. Andrew Mellon, Gulf Oil Baron, Director of Treasury, Banker of DuPont. Oh, Hearst, our other buddy, three buddies, three amigos. Oh, and Harry Ansley, oh yeah, that's right, you married Andrew Mellon's niece. Oh, y'all got a little talk, business going. Oh, you appointed the Federal Bureau of Narcotics. Now today the DEA, as the weed man shirt said, you saw what he said about the DEA to a degree. Why should they be making decisions in these prisons? You know, we want support, not punishment. We want schools, not prisons. We got, you know, and this law is unjust. We know it from its history, and we know it for its wellness. We know it from its left. We know it from this. You know? And I'm a Vietnam-era veteran, and my other fellow veterans. I was at the White House during Veterans Day. They give us this, every day 22 veterans commit suicide with PTSDs, you know? That's sad. And we put our life and limbs on the line for our country, and you tell me we don't have the right to choose what medicine we want for ourselves in medicine, that's dead wrong, and it's gonna end. That's what the people are saying. My name's Duke Dunn.
Duke Dunn. All right, Duke.
Yeah. I got another run for that. Everything's got an answer. I was actually, he asked me where I got the cape. Well, actually, I was knighted at the 45th annual smoke-in at the White House last year. When we rallied at the White House during July 4th for the smoke-in, we met. I did a group picture. Everybody in wants group pictures. Check out the SOS pack file. I do a photo file free for everybody, social media. And then we marched down to the Vietnam Memorial Wall and the Lincoln Memorial. And actually, I invite you to a national wall. We hadn't had nothing like this since, actually, I take that back. They just performed it just here the other day on Bernie. They did it nationwide. If you check nationwide, I know my boys in DC did it. It's called, they did the Walk for Bernie, and that was nationwide. I'm helping on a national committee called the Walk for Freedom. The Walk for Freedom. You look at thewalkforfreedom.com. Okay, and it's September the 23rd. We're going to meet high noon at the White House. We're going to march to the Supreme Court and the Capitol, and then go down on the mall, as a number of my people do.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I went off. They knighted me because they liked the fact I took a lot of pictures, helped with the program. So they give me the cape. They were selling it to people to put on the 4th of July smoke lamp. I had a little Red Bull earlier. That's
your name again?
Deal I did. So I got knighted at the 4th of July.
Your name again?
My name? SOS PAC. Follow the SOS PAC. That's what you want to follow. Saving our society, pulling all communities together for just causes. Peace and love to all.